wouldn't be us if something didn't go wrong at least once. That's what my girlfriend told me after a travel chair that we just bought almost crushed me. We were using stabilizing jacks as leveling jacks. Apparently that's a no-no, and we didn't know. And she's right. Rarely do projects go as intended. Normally they have hiccups, if not every step of the way. And that's why this speech is dedicated to my first ever project, the hot water heater that we did in our first house together. And as Murphy Law states, if it can go wrong, it will. And for this project, that was definitely the case. So, you see, the first house I ever had a tankless hot water heater in it, and I fell in love. You could drain the oceans of water, and you would still be pulling in hot water through these. They're amazing. So I convinced her, and the stars aligned, and we bought one. So the first step was to remove the old hot water heater. We shimmied it to the door and started to drain it, but no water came out. I looked in the spigot, and there was calcium buildup for days. You see, the first thing I learned about hot water heaters is that you're supposed to drain them yearly. I didn't know this, and I'm guessing the previous tenants didn't. So I'm looking down the barrel of a spigot, chiseling away at it with a screwdriver. That's what I learned my second thing about hot water heaters, is that they have pressure. And you're supposed to relieve that pressure prior to opening that spigot. I learned that when I got blasted in the face and 20 feet behind me. About 10 minutes later, after the calcium was wiped out of my eyes, we were back at it, drained it, and we're moving on. We replaced the floors, but the floors unfortunately looked like Oregon roads. They had potholes, divots, you name it. It was uneven as uneven could be. Not to mention the previous tenants drilled directly through the floor to install the water heater, and the two water pipes were coming from there instead of the wall. Don't know why, still to this day. So we did it right. We drilled it through the wall. Floors were done. Water pipes were done. Now electrical. We routed electrical from the hot water heater down, around, and into the electrical cabinet. But we couldn't get it quite through. We bought one of those snakes from Home Depot, another trip. And there was two 2x4s, perfect 1-inch gap in between them. And we just couldn't get the wires to go through that little gap. So we had to go back to Home Depot, buy a fishing tape, and pull them through that way. And then we were done. So we thought. We tested it. 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. No hot water. I did the math wrong. It's only running at half capacity, which wasn't enough for a sink. So we needed another wire and another circuit breaker, which filled up the panel. Thankfully, we had one more. So we routed the wire, except I foamed it and I boarded it up. So the amount of time it took to route those first two wires took the same amount of time to route that last one. I thought it was going to be easier. It was not. But we were done. We were done. We were selling the house in 4 weeks. It was perfect. A week later, my sister who was living with us, 6-month-old, gave her a bath. I brought my son home to give him a bath, and the water wasn't getting warm in the bathtub. I checked the bathtub spigot, and it's cold as ice. I didn't think of a bathtub spigot when I installed these. I looked up how many gallons per minute a bathtub spigot does. 4 to 7 gallons per minute. On the best day for the tankless I bought is 3.75. Our tankless water heater couldn't do the worst bathtub. Unfortunately, we were at a loss. We were selling in 4 weeks to a family with 3 kids. They were going to want a bath at one point. So everything we did to install this tankless hot water heater, we removed it and installed the tanked heater. Thankfully, a tankless water heater is overkill in every way for a tanked heater. So it was simple plug and play. Just remove it, put the new one in. Easy as pie. Moral of the story is that every of these projects is a learning opportunity. And we learn a lot. Thank you.